videos we made last week wasn't recorded, and I was like, oh no, but it was.
You're right.
Okay, so we've been working on drawing different parts of the face and adding value to make them look more realistic. So we are going to work on lips today. I like to do lips after I try drawing some eyes, because generally this is going to sound a little odd, but I feel like they're a similar shape. So I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so when we're drawing the lips, we're going to actually start at the bottom of the nose, and we're going to go all the way down to the chin. So if you go ahead and look at your own face and you hold your own lip, you're going to feel that little tug on the inside, and that's where, let's see, let's do a little experiment. I want you guys to grab your bottom lip and pull it out and feel where it hurts, okay? So you will feel where it attaches to your chin, where your bottom lip attaches to your chin, and same with the top lip. That's really cute, right? But you're going to see that all this is connected. So as we're drawing, that's just going to help you understand how that needs to go together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a super big one to start out with, and then you're going to do a whole bunch of practice drawings. So we're going to start with the underneath side of the nose, like we said. So this is just a contour line I'm going to kind of trace around. And then when we do the lips, I like to think of it as a paper airplane shape. Again, sounding weird, but those are just things I associate when I'm drawing. So the top lip is going to look like a little triangle. So I'm going to draw a little triangle. And we're gonna round this off in a second here. So I'm just gonna make a triangle shape. And then usually the bottom lip, we talked about the bottom lip being slightly further in on most people, but in this particular one, hers are pretty much in line. So I'm gonna make another triangle underneath here, but it's gonna be a little wider, and it's gonna kind of meet at the same spot. So this is kind of the paper airplane shape I'm getting from her particular lips. Okay, now I just told you to pull out your lip and see where you felt it attached to your chin. So then I'm gonna pull this line in. This would be underneath your lip. So remember, it's gonna go back in before we get to the bottom of the chin, which will then start to come back out. Okay, so you have nose. This would be the bottom of your nose. If you wanted to put that nostril in there, it'd be about right there. Then we have this little Cupid's bow here. And then you're gonna have the top lip, bottom lip. Okay, so we've got this weird looking paper airplane shape. So now from here, I'm gonna go ahead and make this look more lip-like and add some values. So let's round this off. So right now, I'm just gonna look at the shape of the lip. We have kind of this top portion that's gonna curl around, come back in. And then she's got kind of like a curved line here that goes up and then comes back down. And then it kind of does the same thing here. And then bottom lip is gonna come in, out, and then it's going to meet this right here, the top of the chin, and then this one is going to curve a little bit more. So remember how I had straight angular lines, and now I've rounded them off. They're going to start to look a little bit more like lips, but right now it looks like a good cartoon drawing. So without value, it's going to look flat and not very realistic. So now we're going to start to look at values. So remember, you guys are always welcome to squint at your picture and find the values. I look for darkest first. This top lip is gonna be darker because light generally shines from above, unless you have a light underneath your face, like in a, like in a scary movie or like something like that. Sometimes they'll have the light reflected from underneath, but generally in life, light is gonna be above. So our top lip is not gonna catch that light, so it's gonna have more of a shadow on it. So I'm gonna add in some dark value right along kind of the crease of the lip here. And the bottom lip is going to be lighter because, well, that's where the light is coming from. So right here, it's going to be a little darker. And as I go up towards the top, I'm going to lessen up my line pressure and add a little value, but it's not as dark as right in between the two lips where they come together. And then on the bottom lip, I'm going to squint at it again. And on this particular person's lips, I'm going to notice that there's a little bit more value kind of along this bottom edge all the way up to this part right here. So I'm going to add that in there, and then a little here. But it actually, we kind of have some like a reflection, light reflecting right here. So that's a little lighter. And then right on the edge here is going to be the lightest spot. So right now, I think I need to darken this. So I'm going to use a little, change my line direction up a little bit. Trying to look for those different values, kind of comes out here. I want the top lip to look darker, so I might need to go in and darken this slightly. That's fine. You're always adjusting your values, remember, just like when we were doing, when we were drawing spheres and everything else. So you're just adjusting values and comparing them to each other. So I'm constantly looking back and forth. Is this darker than this? It is in the picture. Is my drawing? Should I move it? Should I change it? How do I need to make it look more accurate? Okay, and then around the lips is going to help too. So we're going to add a little bit of value here. Now, a lot of you, when you're first starting out, and especially with cross-hatching, you're drawing values around the lips and mouth, you're going to say it looks like a goatee or it looks like a mustache. You'll get better at it. Just for now, it's just value, and your cross-hatching will get better as you keep working on it. So I'm adding little bit of value under here. She's got kind of a shadow happening underneath her bottom lip. So just gently here. I usually tend to start too light and have to go back and darken. That's my tendency. She also has kind of a little shadow in here. You can kind of see in between, like her Cupid's bow right here. And then there's some shadows here. And you could go on and on. There's gonna also be, sometimes people have like a smile line. She doesn't really have one very prominent. I don't see it. Another thing you could add onto this picture is to add in the underneath shadow from the nose here, because you're going to get a sense of how dark this is compared to that value, and they're very similar. So for reference here, I might go ahead and put this in. So I'm going to use some cross hatching to get this a little darker. It's going to be darker under here because it's the nostril. So I'm going to try to darken this up, but remember, like we talked about in the other video, it's not a big black hole, so keep it a little lighter than you think you need to. This will kind of come out here, and then so now I can kind of compare, okay, does this look similar? This is slightly darker in the picture, and it looks like my drawing is as well. So that looks okay to me. So I think for right now, for our purposes, well, maybe I'll do one more thing here. So I'm seeing, as I'm looking, usually as I'm drawing, I'll just continue to find values. So again, you're always welcome to go back and refine this a lot more, but just be looking for those values, and you should be able to have, it's gonna look a little weird, not connected to any face, but it's a good practice. So yeah, that's it. It's good. Good.